Check, check, check. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. #1 commentary channel on YouTube, episode 13 of Morning MMA with Miller DC, 267-545-8096. If you want to call in and leave a voicemail on your thoughts on UFC 292 and Sean O'Malley's performance. I wanted to start off with a little intro before getting to the chat. I see a couple of people are in here. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. Can't wait to read your guys' messages. But let's quickly start off with, guys, my initial thoughts that you guys might agree with or disagree with. Again, you guys can call in and share your ideas. But I was thinking after UFC 292, first of all, I was completely perplexed, shocked, in awe. I check my phone, I get the UFC notifications, and they put UFC 292 Sean O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling. I thought it was going to be like some kind of epilogue behind the scenes, you know, like they usually do. It was quick, but I thought to myself, no biggie. They put the whole second round of Sean O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling. Now, it may not be no biggie, but let's think about this a little bit. Who else have they done that for? If you guys can name somebody in the chat, you guys let me know. But they post a fight of a pay-per-view event that you pay for. You would think they want to, recoup and not give that fight out for free. Unless you question, and this is just me thinking out loud. You think they would have done that for Aljamain Sterling? I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I know it's their job to build stars. You can say, duh, that's what they're supposed to do. That's fair. I'm not debating that. But let's just call things for what it is. If it was Aljamain Sterling getting that knockout, they were not going to put that clip. But then it's Sean O'Malley that gets the job done. Straight right hand, which was beautiful, landed right on the button. It was beautiful to see in slow motion, which we got to give credit to Sean O'Malley. It was Aljamain Sterling left straight that he threw. That was right here. Like, it was so close to landing, but it didn't, right? And his eyes are wide open, and he responds with a straight right hand on his own. And there's a big debate of his own. There's a big debate that it was stopped too early, guys. Let me put that to rest from the jump. I am one of those guys that always think they stopped it too early. When it was Colby Covington versus Usman, the first one, I thought it was stopped too early. This fight wasn't stopped early. Aljamain Sterling was hurt. He didn't throw a punch back. He was on his back trying to go for a leg. Unsuccessful. Hammer fists were raining down. If anything, the referee did him a favor. That fight was going to end in that fashion. If there was 4 seconds left on the clock, that's one thing. There wasn't 4 seconds left on the clock. Aljamain Sterling got put out almost essentially cold. And in the epilogue, after the fight, the aftermath, he didn't make any excuses. And we give him credit. But my argument for today, and we'll jump on that a little bit. My argument is Sean O'Malley right now in the UFC is the biggest star that they have right now. Maybe you can exclude Conor McGregor, but Conor McGregor doesn't have a scheduled fight. We don't know if he's coming back. When he comes back, sure, you can say him and Chandler are going to do bigger numbers than Sean O'Malley's next pay-per-view fight. But if we exclude someone like Conor McGregor, and again, I'm not talking about skill either. I'm just simply talking pay-per-view attraction, pay-per-view star. Who's a bigger name than Sean O'Malley right now? Is my question to you guys. 267-545-8096. We're going to get to some voicemails in a second. Thank you guys for being here. #1 commentary channel on YouTube. Let's catch up with chat as we speak. Let's see what we have here. Eddie Rodriguez being the first one here. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for always showing up and showing love. Thank you. Let's catch up with chat some more. Hito says, voicemail left. Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. Snipey in the building. What's up, Snipey? Welcome to the stream. Snipey, what's up? Volk is more of a star. I disagree. Without having the UFC push, the UFC is manufacturing this a little too hard. I won't debate that they're not manufacturing it a little bit tough. What I will debate is that he's a bigger star than Volkanovski. Right now, Hito, good to see you, my friend. Snipey, it's crazy, man. I say McGregor is still the biggest star, even though he hasn't fought in 30 years or so. 30 years or so. people still talk about him like he is relevant. It's crazy, right? At the end of the day, he's on a decline, right? And we might be seeing Sean O'Malley in his prime right now, looking focused, looking ready, right? Chris, excuse me, says, "Hey, what's up, Miller GC? I'll leave not one but 2 or 3 voicemails." Says Chris. So Chris says, "Snipey, the source is here. There we go. Trey Melton is finally back, and there might be some news that we might have him back on the show somewhat soon. So keep out on the lookout for that. Yo, run my voicemails back to back. I got you, Trey. You're a bum. Welcome back." Says Hito. That was a clean shot for sure. It was beautiful. Incorrect. You're wrong. Casual, says Hito. John Jones. There are a couple names that we can mention. John Jones, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, and Conor McGregor. And even then, it's debatable. And to even have this conversation is quite interesting. If you're on TikTok, head over to youtube.com/MillerDC for a live stream. Put a voicemail in, watch the views skyrocket. Oh, we got plenty of voicemails. So let's get your somebody said run my voicemails back to back. All right, guys, it's time to have our daily or weekly Monday show. Here we go. Let's play. Had to respond. Okay, yep, got you, Hito. Let's get right to it. Number 1 commentary channel on YouTube. Voicemail number 1, I believe, is from Hito. Let's get to it. 1 second. Make sure this is loud enough. And
what's up? All right,
here we
Sean
go.
O'Malley. I think a congratulations is due to me. I called the specific round that he was going to knock out.
I am here to verify that he's actually correct for once. He did say 2nd round knockout. I said 3rd. We were both close. He was closer.
Aljamain. So, yeah, congratulations is due to me. I kind of want to touch on what we talked about a little bit about whether he is the biggest star in the UFC, and I still think it's Alex.
267-545-8096. The question, the topic of discussion is Sean O'Malley the biggest star in the UFC alive right now?
The numbers prove it. You know, even his fight with Yair sold more pay-per-views than the fight with Islam. So, you know, I just think, Alex is the bigger star. I think the way he fights.
Again, $1 million question. Is he the bigger star after UFC 292? But here we go.
It's just as exciting as Sugar, but, you know, I don't know. I think Alex is the bigger star until Sugar starts doing the numbers.
And listen, I was just trying to start the discussion. It might be true that Alexander Volkanovski is the biggest star in the UFC, but again, he has accomplished so much more. This is essentially what we saw this past weekend was Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo for Sean O'Malley as far as his coming out party. And when it's all said and done, who's going to be the bigger star? Again, to me, Volkanovski is the best pound for pound. But Sugar Sean O'Malley is making a case for him being the most known UFC fighter that is active and alive today.
What else we got here? If Aljo grappled with...
This is a question I love. If you want to call in 267-545-8096, I'm almost not indifferent, but I'm ambivalent. Look that word up, right? Especially Trey, because Trey, you know, he has about 50 words to his vocabulary. Hito about 55. I'm ambivalent on whether Aljamain Sterling could have done differently in order to win the fight. If he would have grappled early, it still might have been the same outcome. We'll debate that some more, but I'm not convinced that, although he made the mistake of that he should have grappled earlier, I'm not convinced that it would have ended any differently. Here we go.
Sugar, Aljo would have won. Sugar was injured.
Sugar did have a rib injury. If you guys hear some of the podcasts before and after the stream, but here we go. Look at Hito doing his little research. I'm proud.
You know, he released that in the post conference interview. He had a rib injury, so like he was saying, it was life or death for him not to like get taken down to the ground because he would have lost. So Aljo really messed up. He should have had an easy win if he were able to take him down. But you know, kudos to the Sugar not pulling out, really sticking to the game plan and getting that knockout. So it's what the UFC needed. You know, you got another star, different.
The UFC needed desperately, and we've said this in earlier episodes. For the like inaugural episode, I feel like I've said the UFC is struggling to have some stars. I've been saying that for a while. When Usman was champion, especially around that time frame, the UFC has struggled to create some stars. Think about the names as far as the champions that I have up right here. Volkanovski is a big star, but Pantoja, again, champion. Another one. I called that he would be the flyweight champion in 2023. There's a video out there 6 months ago. Anyways, I was proven true. Aljamain Sterling is not the champion anymore. But besides Volkanovski, Makhachev, he's a star. But if you ask a random person down the street, do you know who Makhachev is? Are they gonna know? When I say star, I mean the casual fan knows who they are. Leon Edwards, I wouldn't say he's there. Now Adesanya, I would say Adesanya is a worthy name to bring up. A reputable name to bring up as far as a star. Jamal Hill, not so much. John Jones, yes, and it might have a lot to do with his out of the octagon experiences. But at the end of the day, the UFC has struggled to make some stars. So when they have someone like Sean O'Malley knock out arguably the best bantamweight of all time, if you have him over Dominic Cruz and others and company, they struggled to make some stars. They found themselves one, and they're gambling big on it. Here we go.
Weight class. I think his next competition is going to be Cheetah. Vera, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than you think. Cheetah showed me that, he's got some hands, and yeah, he's a slow starter and stuff like that, but I think it'll be an exciting fight seeing them go together. Hopefully no weird nerve issues. And that's all I got for today.
And we have one more from Hito, but let me pause real quick and say Cheeto's going to be the next fight, right? I mean, they're not going to feed him Merab. There's a little history there with Merab taking the jacket of Sean O'Malley, but this is I don't think this is hyperbole. This is the UFC's little baby right now. They have to protect Sean O'Malley at all costs. I think that's fair to say. They need to feed him fights that he's favored in, that he potentially wins. Give him a Chito Vera. Corey Sandhagen might be a little bit more difficult. Merab, even more so stylistically. Let's play the next voicemail. And if you're on TikTok, head over to youtube.com/MillerDC. We're accepting live voicemail callers and playing it back on stream. Here we go.
He's a 609. I got to address the numbers thing with you, guys.
And he's bringing up the numbers. Let's see what he has to say.
At the end of the day, I'm a fucking numbers guy. Sean O'Malley against probably.
Let's pause real quick, too. The crazy thing about that, Eddie Rodriguez, I see you in chat. Merab might get slept.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers.
Because he has to get close enough. And Sean O'Malley can make him pay. One shot melted Aljamain Sterling. All I'm saying is the same might be true for Merab. I know stylistically it's a tough fight, but you might have a good point. Beta Quest in the building. What's up, Beta? Welcome to the stream, my guy. The man, the myth, the legend. Here we go. Let's go back to the voicemails. We got a few amount of voicemails today, so let's have some fun. Here we go.
His biggest opponent so far did 500K buys. His next biggest opponent will be Chito Vera, right? Let's be gracious. I'm going to say.
And I hear you saying let's be gracious, but let's also be honest, too. There's history behind that fight as well. They fought before. There's that question mark of, and this is what Sean O'Malley has in his favor. I feel like I'm his lawyer right now. This is something that's in his favor. Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera, the way it ended wasn't necessarily conclusive. There are those that wonder if Sean O'Malley didn't get hurt, maybe O'Malley wins. We don't know who would have really won if that freak accident or that injury happened. I'm not saying I believe that, but that is the mindset that we're going into this fight, into this rematch. So when we talk about pay-per-views, that's gonna sell. On the other side, the other name that you're bringing up is Alexander Volkanovski. Who can really beat Volkanovski at 145? Who do you match up Volkanovski with and you say, I'm excited to see that because his opponent has a chance? There's not that many fish in the sea for Volkanovski. There might be significantly more for Sean O'Malley. So when we talk about the future pay-per-view numbers, all I'm saying is it's going to be close.
And maybe even 700K, and that's being gracious. Who is he going to fight to bring the next draw next? You tell me who's the next fight for him. Where Volk?
I like Chito Vera. I like Corey Sandhagen sells well, especially the performance that he had. Wasn't the best against Rafa, but them both being strikers makes it interesting. I don't know if Volkanovski has that many options, but let's see what you have to say.
Well, Yair, which is,
Yair is a Mexican star as far as he brings a whole nother country to the table. Anybody else at 145 does that for Volk?
kind of cool. It wasn't no Islam, and he did bigger than the Islam fight. So what's the draw there? And you know what?
Yair got Mexico. That's why they were trying to put they were trying to push the Alexa Grassos, the Alexa Grassos, the Yair Rodriguez.
Volk has options. Volk can go back up to Islam's weight class. He can fight Islam or somebody in that weight class. He can go back up. I think he'll do great. Volk's got options in the future. What is Sean doing? Sean's not going to go up to. You think Sean's going to go up to featherweight and fight who? He's going to stay where he's at. I don't think he has the options you think he does. So I think Volk's the bigger star, and he's going to stay the bigger star until he retires.
There you have it. That's from Hito 609. With the infamous voicemails, let's go to another voicemail. This is from a 704 area code. I'm assuming that is North Carolina, Trey Melton. Let's see what we have here. Thank you guys for calling in. 267-545-8096 if you want to share your thoughts on Sean O'Malley. The discussion, the topic, the debate today is who is a bigger star than Sean O'Malley? Here we go. Next voicemail. And if you're on TikTok, head over to youtube.com/MillerDC to watch and to leave your voicemail.
Look, I'm busy, so I can't call, but listen to me. Sean O'Malley's not the guy yet.
Oh.
Okay, he's almost there. But let me.
You heard it here first. Sean O'Malley is not the guy yet. Let's see what else Trey has to say. Let's see what other bad take.
Let me tell you. Volkanovski. Here's how you know Sean O'Malley's not the guy yet. They're pushing him so bad right now.
They are.
They're posting the full fight. It everywhere. Dana's talking about it everywhere. You want to know why? Because he's not the face of the brand yet. Now they're trying to mess it. They're trying to.
Is Trey a little bit missed? I think that's fair to say. He might be a little bit missed.
Make him the face.
There's that. I think there's another one. Let's play right here. Here it is.
Well, the king comes back in high fashion.
But we'll talk about that in a little bit, Hito. We'll talk about what you had to say about options and stuff. But listen, again, they're not better than Sean O'Malley's. I'll say that, Hito. Well, we could debate some more. Please call again to it as well if you want to add a little bit more to it. But I think I'm going to be proven right. And I don't want to take your money, so I'm a little bit scared to throw a wager on the table. But here we go. What about Patty in the UK? Oh, boy, Eddie.
Looking like the true source he is. The one who gets it done. Mr. Intel back again. What did I say? Sean O'Malley is the best counter striker in the UFC. I literally sat here and
I'm on TikTok. What's up? Head over to youtube.com/MillerDC. A live stream over there. We're accepting live callers and answering voicemails. Thank you for being here.
told y'all right before, after I made the incredible comeback, shocked the world, blew up the chat, had the stream jumping from the rooftop. I come in and I let y'all know. Hey, Sean's the best counter striker in the UFC. Are we serious?
Is he? Is Sean O'Malley the best counter puncher striker in the UFC?
Going to be champion. I've been telling y'all for a year now.
Has it been a year? You might be right.
Sure enough, counter strike right down the middle. Steps back beautifully. Cut.
It was beautiful, Trey. I'll admit. Aljamain's fist was less than an inch away from Sean O'Malley's face. O'Malley's eyes wide open, seeing the opening and landing. Lee, welcome to the stream. The man, the myth, the legend. What about Patty in the UK? Patty's big. I don't think he has the skills to pay the bills and to become essentially a global superstar is my argument, Eddie. But
Adam.
some don't like that, but I think I'm pretty accurate about that. Here we go.
Now, look, I'm not going to rub it in, okay? I'm a high-class gentleman, all right? I'm not going to sit here and be sour about it. I'm a winner. I'm a champion. I don't need to worry about you peasants. But what you need to know, all you dummies asking, Volkanovski is the biggest star in the UFC right now. He has 2.
Oh, hold on a second. Trey Melton. We're in a world where Trey Melton and Hito are agreeing. Okay, here we go.
2 countries behind him right now. Okay, now listen. Now you're saying, okay, no, Sean. They're now listen. I'm about to break it down for you. This is why I'm the source. This is why I'm the king. This is why I'm the one who gets it done, Mr. Intel.
Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. #1 commentary channel on YouTube. Trey Melton on the phone lines.
The UFC is pushing Sean so heavily, posting him everywhere.
I can see why people say it was an early stoppage since, but Sean would have won either way. I agree, M. I agree.
Putting the full fight everywhere. Dana's posting
Lee in the building. What's up, Lee?
it, talking about it. It is on it's everywhere. I mean,
It is everywhere.
everybody is posting the full fight.
I don't know if this is fair, Trey and company in the chat right now. Let me ask you this. You ask someone in the street who's a bigger star, Volkanovski, or you ask someone in the street and your life was on the line. Would you rather ask them, and I know this is a crazy hypothetical, but would you rather ask them, hey, do you know who Sean O'Malley is, or would you rather ask, do you know who Volkanovski is? If you ask a random person down the street anywhere in the world. Let's be honest. I think I'm still correct. I think that name will be Sean O'Malley after this weekend. I'm not saying before that fight. I'm saying after this weekend.
Why are they doing that? It's never been done before. Why are they pushing so hard right now? Why are they going so heavy right now? It's because Sean isn't... Listen, this is a Sean fan talking. It's because Sean isn't the biggest guy in the UFC right now. He's not the face. He doesn't
If not in the UFC, what about globally in the world?
have to...
Serious question to you guys in the chat. Let me also read the poll before we get back to the voicemail from Trey almost popping a vein there. The poll was made 41 minutes ago. Is Sean O'Malley the biggest star in the UFC? 56% say yes. 12% say no. 31% say no, not yet, but he will be. So it's pretty damn close on the mindset of people in the chat. Here we go.
Countries. Now listen, he has all the boys. He has all the young guys behind him. He has all the loud people behind him. But he's not the face yet. Now, I'm tired of breaking stuff. Listen, I've been gone for 4 months, and here I am, right back in the thick
It has personally been the best 4 months of my life.
of it, saying all the smart
Things are just going well for me, and I'm kind of worried that we're going back to this. But anyways.
stuff for everybody because y'all don't see it. I mean, it's sad. I feel bad. I gave y'all 4 months to smart and wise up. Y'all sat here and listened to Miller and got dumber, and I want to apologize for that. I'm telling y'all, Sean's not there yet, but listen, in a few short...
Trey, you ask someone walking down the street, do you know who O'Malley is or do you know who Volkanovski is? What are you picking with your life depending on it? Just asking the question.
short months, maybe by December after his rematch against Cheeto, which
Okay, that might be a good point there. Maybe he jumps over that hill when he fights Cheeto in December. Imagine he gets another knockout win against, because again, he's 17-1, but he would say he's 18-0. He would say he's undefeated, but his record doesn't say so. But what if he knocks out Cheeto Vera? And he says, I told you guys it was a fluke win for Vera. He's not better than me. I'm the best bantamweight in the world. Let's say he knocks Cheeto out in the first, the second, the third, or the fifth, a back and forth fight, striking masterclass, right? Does that put him over the hill over Volkanovski? Will the UFC again post the whole fight the day after, even though it was a pay-per-view? What will the numbers be against Vera? Are they going to be 500K plus, 700K plus? what are the numbers necessarily going to be?
Let's remember, I told y'all, if Sean fights Cheeto again, he is going to whoop that man.
Ah, man, listen. I made a video about 7 months ago, and my prediction was in 2023 that Cheeto Vera will be the champion. Is it too late to change my mind? Will it be wrong if I did so? You guys can look it up. I said Pantoja will be the champion. I was correct about that. Imagine Cheeto Vera wins, and I'm proven right about that one as well too. But what I saw from Sean O'Malley and the fashion in which he did it, it's gonna be tough to bet against him. I'm in a pickle right now. Another topic that we could have is, does Vera actually have a chance? Because to me, he didn't look that impressive against Munoz. And his striking doesn't look that impressive either. And I wonder what the odds are going to be, but I'm not too confident that he beats a Sean O'Malley. I'm a little worried for my prediction from 6 months ago. I might have to go Sean O'Malley, but anyways.
Cheeto didn't look that good.
Good point. And as soon as I say that, you hear Trey doesn't know how to talk at a regular speaking level. Trey didn't look that good. Hold on, let me go back.
Cheeto again.
Here we go. I almost want to make that a clip for like whenever someone donates.
He is going to whoop that man.
This right here.
Cheeto didn't look that good.
I don't know why I find that so. I really might make that a notification. Here we go.
I thought Cheeto might have lost the fight.
It was close. It was close. Many feel the same way you feel. They thought the first two were for Pedro Munoz. They thought the third one was for Sean O'Malley. So for it to be a unanimous decision, again, is this a little project that the UFC got going on to make a star?
Listen, let me know.
And Aljamain Sterling made a mistake by trying to strike with him. We'll talk about that more.
Let me know if you want me to call in. Everybody was all hyped when I called in, and then
and his voicemail gets cut off. Promise that wasn't me. Thank you for the voicemail, Trey Melton out from North Carolina. If you'd like, 267-545-8096. Is Sean O'Malley the biggest star in the UFC right now? Is a topic of discussion. We're gonna get back to the voicemails. Let's catch up with chat. Eddie Rodriguez says yes. O'Malley. Ultimately, what does the UFC care about the most? Pay-per-view buys, says Hito, and that's why they're gonna keep pushing O'Malley. What's poppin', says Chris Faith in the building. What's up? Hurricane and earthquake yesterday, so pretty awesome. How are things, Lee? All good, mate. Never had a bad day, Chris. How are you? What the F, LOL, sniper, you crazy. Earthquake and hurricane, bro. This is reality, not the movie, says Chris. Sean needs more notable fights. He's only beat one decent guy. Fair. That's very fair to say. I would love... that's another option that doesn't get mentioned enough. If not, if he gets past Cheeto Vera, they might skip Marab again and then give him Triple C. And then what if Sean O'Malley does in a more dominant fashion to Henry Cejudo than what Aljamain Sterling did? Again, they do have, in a business sense, a perfect opportunity. They have a perfect opportunity to create a monster, that being a superstar, just like they did with Conor McGregor. And I saw, I don't know if you guys, let me see if I can play real quick. Did you guys see Conor McGregor talking about this?
What way did the fucking finish? It's mad to see, to be honest. And then what way did the fucking finish go? It was almost identical in the main event.
He says it was almost identical, referring to his fight with Jose Aldo.
And I don't know, it's crazy. It's their fucking big respect. Yes, I mightn't have wrote the whole.
Look how close that left straight missed for Aljamain Sterling.
But I wrote a few pages, lads, yeah, and that can't be denied. That cannot be denied. The script I wrote, the belief and the way we go about it works, yeah. Tried and tested time and time again.
Look how close that punch is, right? It was beautiful to watch. It did remind me a little bit of Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor, I will be honest.
And no more evident than last night. So I'm fucking ecstatic here. And look at O'Malley saying the exact same thing. I'm going to be as big as Conor.
Of course, Conor McGregor made it about himself, but anyways.
Be as big. And he goes out and does the fucking exact same thing I done to make me as big as Conor, if you get me.
He does the same exact thing I've done to make me as big as Conor, referring to himself. If I've ever heard a Conor McGregor quote. So
it's just fucking madness. But there you go. Fucking hell. Give us a scrap. Give us a... Any of a sparring, yeah?
I'm not gonna lie, it was a beautiful performance by Sean O'Malley. I'll be quite honest. Let's get to the next voicemail. Let's catch up with chat real quick before getting there. Steve Williams in the building.
From Oakland to Sacktown, the Bay Area and back down. Cali is where they put they Mac down.
We get a lot of California love out here, man. Steve Williams, Snipey in the building, and then Beta originally being from over there. He says, let's go. What's up, Steve? Good morning to you, man. I'm in Los Angeles. Chris is the movie. He says Snipey. And I'm sad. I know it's UFC 292, but recently, today, my girl. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Chris. Sorry to hear that. I thought Vera lost too. It was a close fight. But again, I missed an opportunity. I wanted to make a short of like Vera's gonna win, O'Malley's gonna win, and then that fight's gonna be made in December. You can see the writing on the wall, and of course that's what's gonna happen, right? But I'll recover in time. Sorry to hear that, Chris. My apologies and my condolences. What's good, Hito69? How are you doing? Plenty of rain, says Steve. Beta says my bet is they put Merab against Triples while they put Cheeto up for the next fight. Again, I'm speaking strictly as a business, as I'm trying to put myself in the UFC shoes, Beta. So hear me out. Hear me out. If you're the UFC, do you put Cejudo versus Merab? Because if Merab beats Cejudo, then you kind of got to give Merab the shot. What if you put Cejudo on ice, let Vera fight O'Malley for the title, and you keep screwing over Merab and you give Cejudo the shot against Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley beats Henry Cejudo. I'm saying if we're script writing, right? Because it almost seems like it's that way already. I'm just saying, if we're script writing, O'Malley beats Cheeto in December. Cejudo fights Sean O'Malley. O'Malley knocks him out. He did it in more impressive fashion than Aljamain Sterling did. It almost sounds like blasphemy, but then we say, is Sean O'Malley the best bantamweight of all time? Like we start heading down that route. I'm just saying I can't see past the UFC doing something like that, is all I'm saying. Let's catch up with chat. Steve's a GOAT. Steve is a living legend. But you might be right, Beta. It might be Merab versus Triple C. That'll sell well as well, too. Hey, one day when I go to LA, see you, Snipey, let's go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Just us. Well, Miller can come, too. Bro, I would love to go to Cali, man. It's a beautiful state. Sorry to hear my condolences. Thank you. Bro, Sean looked like another weight class versus Sterling. He looked big, too, right? I mean, he was 4 inches taller regardless, but he still looked, like, size-wise, just bigger than Aljamain Sterling as far as like BMI. I can see him moving up. Alabama by way of LA, says Beta Quest. Come on out, Chris. We can go to Roscoe 4 times a day, says Snipey. I accept. It's still Connor probably until he retires for real, says MMA Guardian. Welcome to the stream, MMA Guardian 35. Listen, you might be correct in your assessment. It might be Connor still, but him not having a fight lined up, we don't know. We don't know if we ever see him back in the octagon. Let's get to the next voicemail. Here is a 201 area code. Here we go.
What's up, Miller DC? This is Chris Faith.
So Chris Faith in the building. Welcome to the stream, Chris Faith. Let's play his voicemail. We got about 2 to 3 more voicemails on the line. 267-545-8096. If you're watching on TikTok, head over onto youtube.com/MillerDC. We're accepting live voicemails. We're playing them back and reacting to them and having a good time. Here we go.
Talking. Wait, hold on a second. I gotta see.
Bless you.
Sorry about that. So, let's talk about what went throughout UFC 292. Well, actually, let me start with the prelims. Let me say congratulations to Brad Katona and Kurt Hollowbrook. I think I pronounced his last name right. Ultimate Fighter winners. Unfortunately for the whiskey bum idiot Conor McGregor, who couldn't show up for Brad Katona because I was part of his team. And Chris Weidman should definitely retire.
Yeah, what about Chris Weidman, man? Even Dana White, if you guys seen the clip of him saying, I beg of Weidman to retire. But here we go.
He was limping throughout his fight against Brad Tavares. I'm sorry, but I don't know why so many people have confidence thinking that, oh, he's going to win. He's still the best. Oh, bro, like, he was the best. I know it's been over 10 years since he defeated Anderson Silva.
Wow, it's been that long. 10 years since he defeated Silva. Remember where Silva had his hands down low, a little too low, playing around with his food, and he ended up getting caught. That's one of the most saddest because I was a huge Silva fan. That was one of the saddest knockouts I've seen.
But that was 10 years
Emotionally and personally for me.
ago.
What are some of the saddest knockouts or your heroes getting beat? You guys let me know some of your favorite fighters that were defeated and you guys were saddened. Another comparison too. Wait. Sorry, Chris. Real quick, not to jump in too much, but since you brought up Conor McGregor, they're saying that Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley, that was the same fight essentially for Sean O'Malley than Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo. If you guys remember, Jose Aldo never got the rematch. He was begging for it. But of course, the business of the UFC, they never let Aldo get that rematch. It would have just been business sense wise not the best option for them. He never got that shot. With all that to say, shouldn't Sterling get the immediate rematch? Maybe he never gets that shot. What if Sterling wants it and he doesn't get it? I can see that happening. Is that wrong or right? Do you think Sterling is going to want to stay at 135? Or do you think he's going to want to move up? But he might not get the shot, which is crazy. Because he deserves it, right? He has what, like 4 to 5 title defenses? He should be an automatic rematch. That's almost a conversation that's not had. Now, the detractors, the people on the other side could say, well, he was knocked out. Essentially, he was knocked out cold. When you get beaten in that fashion, you don't deserve a rematch. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? But here we go.
That's not the same Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman should have considered retirement after his horrific leg injury. And guess what? The fact that he was limping it still means that he has not recovered from his leg injury. And also another thing, let me say the words of George St. Pierre. I am not impressed by your performance to Chris Weidman, especially to Ian Gary and Chito Vera.
You didn't like Ian Gary's performance? I could see why not liking Vera's performance, but Ian Gary, at the end of the day, I do agree with him that he made a veteran in Magny look like he didn't even belong in there with Ian Gary.
Performance against their opponents like Neil Magny and Pedro Munoz.
Now, Munoz arguably could have won that fight on paper.
Munoz was not that good. They're not that good.
And we have one more from, let's go right to it. Then we have another voicemail, so we'll get to that in a second.
It's Chris Face again. I just wanted to say, congratulations to Mario Bautista for his run. He was supposed to fight Cody Garbrandt, but unfortunately Garbrandt decided to have an injury at the last minute. So I hope that fight gets rebooked.
Right.
I'm thinking UFC 295, Madison Square Garden. And by the way, I really acknowledge the fact that Zhang Weili was going to win.
Zhang Weili looked like somebody said in my comment section. Zhang looked like a man in there.
Well,
like that's how strong he looked, but how strong she looked. But anyways,
Amanda Lemos. I'm not gonna lie. If she didn't beat Jessica Andrade last year, trust me, she wasn't going to beat Zhang Weili. I don't understand why the UFC chose her as the next title shot opportunity for her. They should have chosen the other Chinese girl, Yang Zhaling. I think I pronounced her last name right. But I hope that's the next fight to make. But according to according to
the other Xiao, I forget how to. It's XIO, and then her last name is like XANAN or something like that. But anyways,
I'd like to say Tatiana Suarez, but no. According to Zhang Weili, she wants to fight Tatiana Suarez. But I'm like, but the thing is, okay, if they don't know what to choose, guess what? How about this? Tatiana Suarez versus Yan Zhao.
Who she's a rising star as well too. That being Suarez.
Main event, Starwood main event, and whoever wins the fight is the number one contender to fight Zhang Weili somewhere around next year. Congratulations to Sean O'Malley.
Oh, here we go. The Sean O'Malley talk. Let's see what Chris Faith has to say. One of the loyal callers in. Here we go.
He did an awesome performance. A lot of people still doubt him, say, oh, no, he cheated. Oh, he didn't cheat it. And not because of Mark Goddard. I'm like, first of all, Mark Goddard did a good job. So stop.
I thought it was a good stoppage, Chris.
Protesting. So who's next to Sean O'Malley? It could be Chito Vera or someone else.
Who's next for Sean O'Malley? Maybe Cheeto Vera or someone else. We got 37 seconds left. I think he left one more. Here we go. Last one.
Oh, one last thing. This is Chris Faith, by the way. Hey, Trey Melton, I saw
Oh, a shot for Trey Mellon. Let's see what he has to say.
your fucking comments. Listen, you want to go toe-to-toe? Go travel all the way to the state of New Jersey and fight me like a fucking man instead of talking in your fucking man cave. Because I will literally bust
I'm scared to play the rest, but here we go.
your ass. And Cheeto 609. If you want to jump in, trust me, it'll be your funeral too.
Jesus Christ.
Nobody wants to hear you're ugly. Guess what? You still have an old Miller DC of like money.
I think Hito likes you. That's the crazy part, Chris. Trey does owe me money though.
Fucking bum. You're the fucking bum. Fuck you, you fucking bum. Fuck you.
I don't know what to do with that, so we're going to get to the next voicemail. Thank you for calling in, Chris Faith. My man has something to get off his chest. Let's catch up with chat. We have another voicemail, 267-545-8096 to play your voicemail live on stream. Jesus Christ. Sugar's already ducking Aljo. He said it in his post-conference. There you go, Hito. That's what I'm saying. Like, but does Aljamain deserve it? Let me scroll up and catch up. I missed quite a few. It's still kind of proud. Yep. That's why John Jones is a true GOAT. I'm sure Snipey has something to say about that. Snipey does not like John Jones from what I remember. Jonathan Jones is not the GOAT, he says. Snipey, who is the UFC GOAT then? They have to activate. Actually, John Jones' last fight sold over $1 million. Did it? Wow, that quick finish over Cyril Gane, huh? They have to be active, says Horizon. Welcome to the Sugar Show era, says way weary. Welcome to the stream. I'd say GSP or Khabib. Jones is just too tainted. He wasted his talent, I think, says Snipey. And he got Stipe next. Now, Khabib only fought 3 legends, says Horizon. I'm starting to lean more towards that argument. I've heard it before, but it is true. All the names that Khabib beat were essentially strikers that weren't ready for a grappling exchange, and he left a little bit soon. It's not his fault. His father passed away. He didn't want to fight without his father. But for me to call Khabib the GOAT is tough. He reminds me of like a Shaquille O'Neal of the UFC, like one of the most dominant fighters of all time. But to call him the best, you can't do that with Shaquille O'Neal in the NBA. You can't do that with Khabib in the UFC, if that makes sense. Damn, that's a great comparison, if I do say so myself. Let's catch it with chat. Sugar's already ducking Aljo. He said in the post-conference, says, Hito609. Beta says, he's not getting that rematch. LOL. Aljo is a persona non grata in the UFC. Beta, would love to hear your thoughts if you want to call in, if you have time to do so. Jones hid under a cage and dodged Francis for 3 years, and only called and gotten out after Francis was safely in the PFL. Sugar wants Cheeto next, avenge the L. And does he deserve it after that performance? Weary? I would say yes. He deserves to get who he wants. But at the same time, simultaneously, Aljamain Sterling deserves to get the shot if he wants it after defending 4 to 5 times. And I'm kind of at a crossroads with that. What if Aljamain Sterling wants a shot? Do you give Sean O'Malley what he wants, him being the present champ, or do you give Sterling what he wants, him being a defending champion that has been on top of the bantamweight division for quite some time? Jones just irks me. Horizon is sniping. Jones will destroy Francis. I don't know if I believe that. I want Jones to lose. Just speaking facts, says Horizon. Mike Dornan in the building, the DC Fight Club member with the silver glove. By the way, you can become a member today. Put the link in the chat just now. Thank you so much for all the members of the channel. Helps us grow and helps us keep going. Let's see. The only person who came close to beating Jones is Santiago, but Jones figured him out. What about Dominic Reyes? No? You didn't think that was close? There's a reason Jones didn't want to come back until Francis was gone, says Snipey. I don't believe he thinks he could have beat him. Damn, Snipey, we both saying the same LOL, says Beta. Dominic Reyes, oh, so that's someone I mentioned. Gustafsson was a close fight as well, too. Francis had a chance to fight Jones, but he left. That's his fault, says Horizon. Gotcha, girl. Welcome to the stream. Says, I left and came back to this. What the F is going on, and why not I still hitting this early? There's some beef there. Bro, why he so mad at you? Jesus Christ. Do you know how about this? The only way I can squash my beef with Hito609 is a one-night dinner at Dave & Buster's, New York City. Jeez. We're about to have some Miller DC fight cards in a second, it sounds like. Francis was active and Jones was not. Jones did not become active until Francis was gone, says Beta Quest. How does that even make sense, Horizon?
I don't mean no disrespect on that, Henry, but
Beta makes a good point. Well, let's catch up with chat. Join the Discord. Thank you for putting that in there. It's not beef, Chris. You mad over nothing, and I'm past it. I don't do internet beef, says Hito69. Let's go. T gets the gift of membership. We have another voicemail.
I want to shake your hand.
Things got interesting in the chat. I might start my own fight cards. It's all love between Hito and Chris, I'm sure. Maybe not on Chris' side, but Chris, I will tell you, Hito's a good guy. Does he get his picks wrong 99% of the time? That could be fair. But Hito's my guy, I'll be honest. So is Chris. Beta Quest gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Beta, the GK, the gifted king. Thank you so much, Beta. I appreciate you, man. Beta always showing love. Let's get to the next voicemail. This is from a 717 number. You can leave a voicemail at 267-545-8096. I'll play it back live on stream. The topic of discussion is Sean O'Malley the biggest current active star in the UFC? Let's get to the next voicemail.
It's time!
All right, Bruce Q Buffer left a voicemail. Here we go.
Bro, come on, man. Congratulations on the big. I know you had a big card this week, and congratulations. I know you made
5 for 5, over $450 because it was $451 to be exact. We came up, we're 10-2 on UFC 292, 10-3, and then 9-3 in the 2 previous cards before that. So not to pat myself on the back, 717 out here, Q, but let's just say we're doing our thing. Let's just say there are the gurus out there that are getting the main events wrong. There are other YouTube names out there that are getting it wrong. Let's just say your boy got it right and he's hot. But anyways.
coin for you to make some more bets with me and give me your money. Didn't I call it, bro? Second round knockout. Sean O'Malley is
another proponent of saying that Sean O'Malley will win by second round knockout. And Q was right.
him.
And I don't get to say that often, if at all.
I'm actually surprised that Aljamain came out and tried to throw with him. Like I was.
And this is a topic that I really wanted to talk about. So if he doesn't beat the dead horse in this topic, we'll talk about it right after this. Another conversation I want to have with you guys is what he's bringing up. Did Aljamain Sterling make a mistake, and would it have gone differently if Sterling focused, dedicated himself to grappling? Again, Hito brought up the rib injury. Q's bringing it up right now that he was surprised that Aljamain Sterling came out in that fashion, trying to strike with him. But anyways.
Thought he would try to grapple more, but I know he said he went in the first round knockout because you didn't respect him, but like.
What's up, Poopy in TikTok? I see you over there. Head over to youtube.com/MillerDC. Appreciate you, man. Much love to you, broski. Anybody on TikTok over there, head over to youtube.com/MillerDC.
Bro, go with your strength, man. You know he's not a crazy ground guy.
Completely agreed, Q. And hindsight is 2020, but I agree.
And you're trying to throw with him when he's a dangerous striker. I think it was just bad planning on Sterling's part. That being said.
And let me ask you this, Q and anybody else in chat. Is it bad planning? I have a theory. Is it pride? And I say that because is it pride that allowed Sterling to believe that he could strike with Sean O'Malley and that's why he chose that route? Or, hindsight is 2020 and it just didn't work out. But I do feel like if you wanted Volkanovski, there was a little bit of, I need to strike with him. I need to beat him at his own game so then I could get the Volkanovski shot. I do believe there's a little bit of that, in my honest opinion. But here we go. And Zelme, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you, man. That's one of sure I'll get it back later this week. Appreciate you, Zelme. Here we go.
The rest of the card was kind of boring to me. I mean, that's just besides like the ultimate fighters like throwing hands, like trying to get their contract earned. Like Kurt Hallbaugh was doing that beautiful triangle choke. I don't know if you watched the prelims or not, but that was beautiful. And then
I did like Ian Gary's performance, but I'm the minority. It would have been nice though, Q. Maybe even the whole card if Ian Gary put Neil Magny out. I felt like the opportunity was somewhat there, and he wasn't able to finalize it. Kind of like Wonder Boy's last fight, right? Where it seemed like he was going to be able to get Dan Hooker out of there, but just wasn't able to do so. And although an impressive win by Gary, by Stephen Wonder Boy, it would have been, it would have made the whole story of UFC 292 with Ian Gary being a young fighter and taking out a Magny if he would have closed the show. It was a little bit underwhelming. You add to that the Chito Vera card fight versus Munoz. It wasn't the most entertaining. So I do somewhat agree with you.
Everything else was just like, to me. Zhang really dominated. But back to the main event, man. O'Malley was.
By the way, guys, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. #1 commentary channel on YouTube. Here we go.
Like I said, you would knock him out, bro. His hands are too dangerous, bro. It's just
the beauty, Q, of that counter straight right hand. It almost looked like a video game. It almost looked like a scene that you script. Dodge the left hand, land your own straight right hand. And it wasn't like a dodge like Sterling missed badly. I mean, his chin was up in the air, which is horrible, but his punch almost landed. And that's what made it so beautiful. Kind of just like McGregor with that left hook against Jose Aldo.
I don't even know why Sterling would try to.
Or that left straight.
Mix with him. It doesn't make sense. And as far as who he fights next within that division, bro, you see Henry calling him out. I don't even want to see Henry fight him, bro. Like, you just lost to Sterling, and I know you.
Heavy as a head that wears a crown, Q, as well, too. Everybody's going to want a piece of Sean O'Malley now. He's the biggest, again, my argument, he's the biggest star in the UFC.
I know when Henry Cejudo said it was like, I don't want to fight unless I'm fighting for the championship, bro. You have to beat Sterling. Like, you just can't think you're the next man up. And, like, maybe Peter Yan, maybe.
Petr Yan is not. It was a close fight when they fought as well, too. I don't think he's going to get the shot because he also lost to Merab. Not the worst idea. I don't think it'll happen, though. And in a 5-round fight, maybe Sean O'Malley wins.
Sterling?
Sterling rematch if he wants a rematch, right?
See it. I don't really know who he fights after this, bro. And then like Cecil's fight was boring too. Like, it was just another boring fight. So it was like Sean.
Cheeto was boring as well too. Look at Q with an effective call. I'm perplexed. I'm surprised. Here we go.
O'Malley, he has the it factor. That's what you're talking about. How they posted it on YouTube. He has the it factor, bro. He's just like
And it's crazy because he doesn't do too much trash talking. I think it's the rainbow hair, the tattoos. I think it's all those things put together. Him being from Montana, him putting the performances that he has put, the knockouts. And we'll talk about the Aljo pride thing, but here we go.
Sells fights. That's what he does. He's a live guy. He's like Israel. Israel sells fights. Connor sells fights. So like, he's just not one of these guys.
Damn, man. I hate giving Q credit. Izzy sells fight. Connor sells fights. He's essentially saying so does Sean. I have to agree with him.
I just sit back and press conference, boring. He's gonna talk his shit, and it's gonna be a good fight, and that's what Dana White likes. So that's why they posted a fact. I don't say they're fact checking him, but dude can bang. He gives you finishes. Like, what else do you want, bro? I still know way more than you in this sport, even though you did have.
Wow, he couldn't help himself.
Nice card. So if you wanted more advice, just let me know. It's your dad. See you later, son.
Yo, shout out to Caesar, man.
Great call. Great call by Q. Great call. I almost agree with everything you said. We have another voicemail. We'll go to that shortly. Let's focus a little bit on Aljamain Sterling. Something that Q said earlier is, why would he try to strike with Sean O'Malley? I'm actually surprised that he came out to try to throw with him. Now, if you guys remember correctly, you guys remember Steve Williams, a DC Fight Club member of the chat, said Sterling is going to prove a point, essentially, and I'm sorry if I'm paraphrasing you incorrectly, but I believe it was something along the lines of Sterling is going to prove a point. He's going to strike with him as well, too. Steve Williams had Sterling winning, but he did say he's going to try to strike with him, and I agreed with Steve Williams. I thought that Sterling was going to try to prove a point. It backfired on him, and hindsight is 20/20, but did Sterling try to strike with him because he really believed that he could win? I feel like there's three options. Did he try to strike with him because he really believed he could beat him in that field as well, too? That's number one. Did he try to strike with him, number two, which could also be it, because there was a little bit of pride of, oh, people think I'm just a grappler. I want to make a name for myself. They're always criticizing my fighting style. I'm going to prove people wrong. And that was essentially his downfall. That's number two. Or was it three? Was he simply just trying to strike to close the distance and get the takedown? Which one do you guys think it is? Horizon says Volk beat Islam. He's really double champ. I mean, he beat Islam as far as in people's hearts, right? On paper, he didn't, but I feel you, Horizon. And I think the way he finished that fight as well, too, kind of did him some favors as far as people believing that he won those last 30 seconds. Eddie Rodriguez says, to be fair, Aljo always strikes like that to close the distance. So something I was alluding to. He leaves his chin out like Brunson, like Derek Brunson. And Sean O'Malley made him pay for it. Which is credit to O'Malley with the power that he has to land a big shot like that and capitalize. Gotcha Girl says, pride and ego for sure. I don't think Aljo took Sean as serious as he should have, which was ultimately detrimental to him in the end. O'Malley made him pay. Now, will Sterling be able to go back to the drawing board and right this wrong? Or do you think O'Malley would just beat him if they were to ever rematch? The podcast he joins as well. What do you mean, Hito? O'Malley clowns his hair. O'Malley's clown hair is where he stores his superpowers as sniping. Eddie says, I think we give Sterling's fight IQ too much credit. He doesn't always make the best decisions in the cage. I mean, if anything, he uses the whole all fours on the canvas so people can't knee him. But yes. Maybe he just hasn't faced anyone that has the attributes to give him trouble.
I want to shake
Look
your
at
hand.
look at
I'll allow
Dillashaw.
it. Whoa.
Had a bump shoulder, couldn't really fight with him, couldn't really give him a challenge. Petr Yan essentially small. The wrong size, the wrong style to beat Sterling, who's gonna take you to the ground. Corey Sandhagen and the time in which he beat him. I know they were arguing that he will be the bantamweight GOAT, then he loses. Maybe somewhat similar as far as in other divisions. He didn't really have that opponent to give him trouble. Beta Quest says 20 months is crazy. Weird audio. Is it me? Let me know if everything sounds good. Beta. 20 months is crazy. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and keep tuning to the #1 commentary channel on YouTube. Now the best fight podcast on Monday.
In the sack town, the Bay Area and back down. Cali is where they put they mag down. Give me love.
From Alabama by way of LA. Thank you so much, Beta Quest. Look at his horrible takedown against Moraes when he got murked, when he got put out cold, right? Again, it is a debate that can be had. Maybe there just wasn't anybody out there that could give him. He fights the first very polished striker that is also able to keep his distance. And I know it was just one right hand. Maybe it's credit. And this is something I was thinking about too. Maybe it's credit to Sean O'Malley. But he did just get hit with one bomb and he got hurt. Against Petr Yan, before that illegal knee landed, he was getting pieced up. And he got very lucky that Petr Yan made that mistake. Is he the bantamweight GOAT, or has he just been lucky and his path to the title and his defenses weren't necessarily the most impressive? Weird audio. Look at his horrible takedown against Moraes when he got murked. Takedown attempt. Yes, Sugar joins popular podcasts as well as, he also joins a Full Send podcast, the Nelk Boys and all that. You're right. He gets a younger crowd that way. He also streams video games on Twitch, and again, he is a global superstar. If not before Saturday, definitely afterwards, Hito. So that's a good point too. He also appeals to the younger crowd. Merchant in the building says, good evening, people. 267-545-8096. Leave your thoughts. The topic of discussion today is Sean O'Malley the biggest star in the UFC, active star in the UFC right now? That is a topic of discussion. We've been live for an hour. We won't be live that much longer. So if you want to leave a voicemail, head over 267-545-8096. We have another voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, what's good, Miller? This your man, Steve Williams, checking in from Gilroy, California.
Let's go.
The Bay Area and back down. Cali is where they put they mag down. Give me love.
Let's go. My guy, Steve Williams, finally left a voicemail. He has done this before for the OG viewers. I believe he has left one before. Here we go.
Just wanted to holler about that Sean O'Malley victory and give him his props and his credit. His long string being arms was piecing up Aljamain, and Aljamain did not wrestle, man.
And he tried at the end of the first round, Steven, for those that are listening. He tried at the end of the first round, was somewhat successful. He went for a takedown in the second round. It didn't really go his way. I thought he should have kept trying to chain wrestle. Nonetheless, he went off script in a sense as far as his fighting style.
He just went straight in there and tried to box.
And that left straight that he missed with his chin up in the air, I mean, why do that against a counterpuncher? Why not feint a little bit more, change levels? You're absolutely right.
But anyways, man, great stream, great community. It feels good to be a part of the family.
Amen to that.
Have a great day, guys, and much love. Peace.
My guy, Steve Williams, man. Thank you so much for calling in. It's a good day when Steve calls in, man. He has been a supporter for a very long time. Steve, thank you so much. Shout out to you, man. You're probably in the dealership right now. Hope you sell a bunch of cars. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for rocking out with me for, I think it's almost 2 years. Maybe something along those lines. Steve is a chat legend. Thank you so much, broski. And I agree. Why would you try to box with someone like Sean O'Malley that's trying to box a Gervonta Davis? It is not your strong suit. It is not your strength. You essentially took him down in the first round. Keep spamming takedown. Do what Merab did against Petr Yan. Takedown attempt after takedown attempt. Get him tired, kind of like Khabib did to McGregor, and then maybe strike with him when his power is not all the way there. But when it's the beginning of the second round, Sean O'Malley is still fresh, and you're throwing lead left straights with your chin wide open in the air, what do you think is going to happen? Exactly what many people would have thought if Aljamain Sterling chose to strike. He would get caught, and he will get knocked down. And he essentially got put out. So I agree. We've been blessed with the Steve Williams voicemail. Let's go. Let's go. The man, the myth, the legend. Tommy Mead in the building. And he says, we'll see how good he really is because I thought he lost against Petr Yan. I did as well too, Tommy. I had it 2-1 for Petr Yan. But no doubt it was close TKO. The champ is no cakewalk. But he hasn't fought anyone noteworthy. When he did, he lost or was losing. Great point as well. When you think about Petr Yan in their first fight, Aljamain Sterling was losing that fight by a landslide until the illegal knee and the disqualification. When it was against Sean O'Malley, a worthy opponent, what happens? He gets put out. It's going to be interesting to see whether he elects to stay at 135 or whether he chooses to go up in the rankings. Now, if he chooses to go up in the rankings, does he fare well against a Yair Rodriguez, a Brian Ortega, a Arnold Allen, a Topuria, a Max Holloway, who's like almost impossible to put out? Sterling is at a crossroads, and I feel bad for him. And this is something we haven't talked about as well either. The post-fight interview, Sterling, in a sense, he made me a fan. The way he was speaking of, follow your dreams. He was overly optimistic. He didn't make any excuses. He has received, and deservedly so, he has received some criticism by by his antics outside the octagon. The whole taking pictures with the belt, I don't think was a best option, even though someone took a pic of him after the fight against Petr Yan. He's not the best trash talker. He was hard to be a fan of. I think after sometimes when you lose and then you show class the way in which he did, I think that's nothing but good for him. But the problem is, where does Aljamain Sterling go from here? 267-545-8096 if you want to share. Where does Aljamain Sterling go from here? Is Sean O'Malley the biggest star in the UFC? Let's catch up with chat. Hey, DC, good call on the fight. Atypical in the building. What's up, Atypical? I honestly didn't think Sugar could pull it off. Gotta love the fight game. It's full of surprises. I had a funny feeling it would happen, Atypical, but most, and there's nothing wrong with that, most were having the same sentiments that you have, Atypical. I just don't see Sean O'Malley stopping the takedowns by Sterling. There was nothing wrong with that, with believing that. Sterling has proven himself to take the fight exactly where he wants to take it. Corey Sandhagen kind of reminded me, O'Malley reminded me kind of like a Corey Sandhagen. Very good striker, but if he gets taken down, there's going to be some trouble. Now, something O'Malley has that I believe Corey Sandhagen doesn't have, that power, that straight right hand, that landed flush. One of the most beautiful shots I've ever seen. Again, very reminiscent of Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor when Conor got that knockout win and became double champ. Sean versus Max, sign me up for that, says Eddie Rodriguez. Imagine that, Eddie. That would be insane. Steve the Chad for real, says Merchant. Appreciate the call by Steve, man. That's a living legend right there. Sean versus Max, sign me up for that. What about the duck and Aljo, though, in the post-fight press conference? Does Aljamain Sterling deserve? Does he deserve a rematch? Will he ask for the rematch? As far as the votes in the chat, is Sean O'Malley the biggest star in the UFC? Yes, 37%. No, 22%. Not yet, but he will be 33%. So essentially, 70% for Sean O'Malley. Let's catch up with chat. Yeah, says Merchant. That's what I said. Sterling should have wore out O'Malley. Reflex with lots of feints and then put him in deep waters in championship rounds. Khabib can't strike with Conor McGregor until he was able to. Why? Spamming the takedowns, spamming feints, ground and pound. Then when he chose to strike with him, Conor really didn't have that much gas in the tank, so to speak. Holloway, man, I think he is the next to go on a slide, like T. Ferg says, sniper. That prediction might be proven true. Why is that? Because, again, every chin has an expiration date. We saw Ferguson, that happened to him. After that Gaethje fight was never the same before. Max Holloway has taken a lot of punishment, and he hasn't really slowed down in a sense, but at the end of the day, he has taken a lot of punishment throughout his career. He came in like Rousey against Nunes, says Tommy Mead. Absolutely. And paid for it. Merchant says, nah, you're not doing my boy Bless Express like that. Holloway never been knocked down and knocked out in his career. He might be a gatekeeper, but he's good. No, he's arguably the best gatekeeper. And if Volkanovski isn't the best pound for pound active fighter in the featherweight division, Holloway is champion right now. O'Malley is always real relaxed in that cage, which allows him to make split-second decisions. In that he looked very loose, although being there in there against a great grappler. Again, it was something beautiful to watch.
I don't want to be. I'm not showing off for nothing but going to the gym and having fun. Yeah, I want to show up to the gym, smile, have fun, play. I don't want to kill someone. I don't want to be killed. I'm actually starting to think now of tomorrow's work while I'm doing today's work. Think of tomorrow while you're in today, so you'll make it to tomorrow. That's where I'm at the minute. It's mad to see, to be honest.
Look how beautiful this landed with the commentary by Conor.
And then what way did the fucking finish go?
Look how close that shot. They show another
angle. It was almost
angle.
identical. Like, yes, I might.
Look at that. Can I freeze frame? Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo all over again. Look how close that was. One more inch, specifically, literally one more inch, and Sterling lands that shot. Sean O'Malley didn't waver. He didn't close his eyes expecting that punch to land. He had this shot lined up right from there. And again, it makes me a little bit disappointed. And credit to Sterling for taking risk, but that chin is wide up in the air. Like, imagine if he threw that left straight while ducking his head to maybe go for a single leg. Then maybe we have something there. He might be able to get caught with a knee. And I think Sterling's corner was saying, watch out for that knee. He's looking for that knee. So maybe that's the case. But I'm talking millimeters away from landing that punch.
I'm waiting to wrote the whole
to
book.
then get caught. Jesus, man. That punch landed cleanly.
Lads, yeah, and that can't be denied. That cannot be denied.
Melted him, man. Look at that. Melted him. What's up, AC Slater? Bones Daily in the building. Welcome to the stream. 267-545-8096. If you want to call in and share your thoughts, is Sean O'Malley the biggest star in the UFC? Should Sterling get the rematch? Did Sterling make a mistake by trying to strike with Sean O'Malley? Merchant, I like Max too, but he has been in a lot of hard fights and taken a lot of damage. I'm happy he has taken some time off, but I don't know. At this point in his career, if Volkanovski doesn't leave, he's essentially going to be a gatekeeper. Arguably the best one, but there you go. And we'll talk some more Sugar versus Vera in a second as well too. Atypical says Sugar versus Vera, line it up. Is a fight to make. I think we see it before the year ends in 2023. Now, before we finish the podcast today, let's actually, we've been live longer than usual. Let's talk about it. Sean O'Malley Marlon Cheeto Vera. I'm a little bit sad to say. I'm a little bit sad to say, man. I almost feel like I need to bring it up. I made a video about 6 or 7 months ago. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. I made a video, and man, was I freaking monotone. But where are you? I made a video on all the fighters that I believe will be champ in 2023. And all I'm saying is, hold on a second. And all I'm saying is, am I gonna be proven right? Because I was right about, hold on a second. Himself fighting for the title in 2023, and I believe he's gonna get it done. I have him as my 2023 flyweight champion. Woman, I was right. My voice was almost out. Now, what did I say? Is currently the champion, and it seems like he only wants to fight 2 times a year. He has been a professional throughout his career, but to me, he looks massive for the division. He's rangy, he's tall. One shot at the title before the year ends, and that's. Look what I said. Guys, listen, this guy has been on a great run, and I think this is before him losing to Corey Sandhagen. He's at least gonna get one shot at the title before the year ends, and that's Marlon Cheeto Vera. I know, guys. I know that might sound crazy. I think Cheeto Vera is gonna have a shot, and he deserves it if he gets past Corey Sandhagen. He might lose against Corey, which he did. Corey Sandhagen, and we'll be back to the drawing board. But if he gets. But he beats Pedro Munoz, and it appears because Sean O'Malley won, which was the best thing that could have happened for him. That's past Corey Sandhagen, which I believe he will. He's going to get a shot at the title before the year ends. And I think when he finds himself fighting for the title, whether that's O'Malley, which I think is the best case scenario, that's such an interesting. Damn, I forgot I said that, but here we go. Fight, and that'll draw so much numbers. But whether it's O'Malley, Cejudo, or Sterling, I think he matches up well against either of those fighters. By the end of 2023, guys, I have Marlon Cheeto Vera being the champion. Let's move on to the next. I promise I didn't see that whole part, and so I'm rewatching it right now. Do I have to stick with that pick? Is the question. Marlon Cheeto Vera, Sean O'Malley. Who wins? Talk to me, chat, before we get out of here. Rematch definitely goes to the judges, in my opinion. You think it goes the distance? I mean, Vera is durable. He doesn't really get stopped. Backing up too, Sean is nice. He does a great job at retreating and still landing a big shot. Max has changed his sparring habits. I think he's getting smarter. That's another good point too. You never know. He might be able to pull it off. Yeah, Tom apparently he don't do sparring anymore, which is great for him as well too. Sean O'Malley, Cheeto Vera. Ah, man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make a decision today, guys. After what I saw O'Malley do to. But imagine if I was right all along and Vera becomes champion. Just imagine that is the case. I said he would fare well against Sugar, so I didn't necessarily pick, did I? Damn, man, I don't know who I go with. Gotta stick with it. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. We'd love to hear some thoughts before I get out of here. I could change my mind. I've changed my mind on Sean O'Malley when I thought he would have no chance against Sterling. And I was proven right. I just didn't like what I saw against Munoz. I didn't like what I saw against. Crazy if it comes true. Vera's a solid, strong fighter, and he's dangerous. I didn't like what I saw against Pedro Munoz. And I just feel like there's too many openings. I feel like there's too many openings for Sean O'Malley after what I saw now. If Vera pulls it off, it will be crazy. He'll be the first Ecuadorian champion, if I'm not mistaken. Patient O'Malley is a different animal. Shh. Imagine after being right about O'Malley, Hito, I pick, I could always delete that video too, Hito. No, but imagine after all this, then I pick Vera to win. I can't. I'll be honest. Right now, let me be honest. Right now, I can't see Vera beating Sean O'Malley. I can't see it. He really struggled with Pedro. Now the outside leg kicks might work for Vera. I can't see it happening. Fantasy football, I almost forgot. Yes, if you guys are interested in fantasy football, by the way, too, let me know. Hito's potentially going to start a league. I think we have like 4 guys. It would be nice to get like 4 more. If you're out there in chat, you want to join a fantasy football league, let me know, and you can join. Hito's going to be starting it. When's the time frame of when you would like to do the draft and when all that happens? Hito, so I can let people know in advance. But yeah, I should have let people know earlier. Hito, we got caught up a little bit. Beta Quest says, I think Vera loses a unanimous decision to O'Malley. Bro just doesn't throw enough volume to compete against a star like O'Malley, and the judges are going to favor the star. It just might be the most logical pick to pick Sean O'Malley. I think that's fair to say. And again, I did predict about 7 months ago that Vera will be champion, but I hated what I saw against Corey Sandhagen. I didn't like what I saw against Pedro Munoz. That's not going to be enough to beat O'Malley. He actually, in a sense, played with fire. They could have gave that decision to Munoz. Now, knowing Vera, he comes out against O'Malley and gets a head kick that sends O'Malley to oblivion. So there's also that too. That's another thing as well too, atypical. But if you pick Sugar and you're wrong and Vera wins, it's going to hurt, dude. It's just, I can't neglect the logic that the Sean O'Malley that beat Sterling beats the Cheeto that beat Pedro Munoz. It's really hard to ignore that. If I do pick Vera at this point, it'll be straightly out of hopes and wishes. You know what I mean? Because how do I justify picking? All right, help me out, chat, before we get out of here. How do we justify picking, if you had to? I'm not saying you do. If you had to, how do you justify picking Vera over O'Malley? Would love to hear some thoughts. The only thing I can think of is, well, Vera is durable. It is a 5-round fight, which maybe favors Vera as he gets better the longer the fight goes. He's going to carry power into the later rounds. He has hurt the leg of O'Malley before with the outside leg kicks. He lands it maybe in their main event fight. He shocks the world and he beats O'Malley. Maybe I just made an argument right there by, having to do so. But is that reasonable? Regardless, we all want the rematch. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna sell better than Volkanovski's next fight. Sorry to bring that truth to Hito 609, who thinks Volkanovski's still the biggest star. Maybe it's right now Sean O'Malley. I would pick Sean in that fight, but his tendency to keep his hands low, I feel like, will be his downfall. What if you saw what Vera did to Frankie Edgar? You saw what he did to Dominic Cruz. Granted, O'Malley's in the prime of his career right now. All I'm saying, O'Malley has finesse too. I think he might knock out Vera and win by knockout, Merchant. And that's the best way you can end the year in 2023 if you're the UFC. LO, yeah, but if you're right, then you will be 100% guru. Shh. I feel like I'm going to just die on that hill, bro. I think we almost have to at this point. It's atypical. If you're me, what are you doing? You're going down that route? There comes a lot of shame with picking Vera and O'Malley wins, but I'm prepared for it. Because if I'm right, all the glory, we might have to go for the glory. And if Vera wins, that trilogy would be most. And yeah, because I was going to say if O'Malley wins is 1-1, I can see it being debatable and then they have a third fight. But if Vera knocks him out, I don't know if you get a trilogy. I don't know if you get a trilogy if Vera wins. Vera might outgas O'Malley, maybe. Maybe. Here's the hypocrisy. If Sugar loses, he gets the immediate rematch. But Aljo, no. True. You usually don't have good points. True. This has been a very fun podcast thus far, man. I appreciate you guys. We are growing exponentially, man. The streams have been, what's it called? They have been successful. These Monday mornings have been great. I almost want to double it up and do Monday mornings and Monday evenings to accept more callers that maybe can call at that time. You guys are interested in that? You guys let me know. Because I would like to hear some more thoughts from people that can't make it maybe in the morning. But this morning stream has been fantastic. I bet that's what would happen. I agree. I think O'Malley will get a shot. I want to see O'Malley deal with a wrestler that uses his wrestling. I wanted to see that against Sterling, but again, Sterling went out there to prove a point. I'm only banking on Vera's durability. O'Malley gets injured a lot. His legs might be somewhat fragile. I'm going to have to think about this some more, but you guys are helping me. Remember, he did have that rib injury heading into the fight with Sterling. I might choose to die on that hill or live and be a legend and pick Vera, because everybody that, bro, my TikToks, if you see the let me see if I find it real quick. If you see the comments, give me 1 second. If you see the comments, there's like comments like bro is him, because I went 5 for 5 on that video. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Oh, this is not the video. Let me see real quick. Wow, 5-0. Let me see. They're not going to do that. Wow, 5-0 is crazy. You're that guy. This aged well. You actually cleared. What a prediction. Respect. This is picking Sean O'Malley as the underdog, and the rest of the whole main event card I got right. Oh, I did not mean to do that. You actually cleared. 5-5 great picks. Why I'm seeing this after the fight. Some people were saying, "Damn, you should have bet money." Homie, don't miss. Imagine after all this and being right about Sean O'Malley, I pick against Sean O'Malley. I'm a little bit scared about that, but it might have to be done. Goodbye, guys. It's almost 1 a.m. I got work. Merchant, I'm sorry. If I go live right now, it's 12:35 for me. You said it's what, 1 a.m.? If I go live like at 6, which is like 6 hours from now, it'll be like 7. It might still be early. Or what if I go live late at night? Maybe a member stream tonight or something. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, and we'll talk. And also, let me know about fantasy football, guys. Take it easy. Yeah, Merchant, have a good rest of your night, man. Dream well, and by the time you wake up, you might see a video where I say Vera wins by decision after picking Sean O'Malley. Have a good night, broski. Merchant, peace. Guys, thank you so much for a fun stream. We've been live longer than we are usually live. Let me know if you guys, maybe I get off now, work on content, go live again tonight. That might be the wave. 267-545-8096. And maybe the topic of discussion tonight, instead of being the recap of Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley, maybe the conversation is, I just titled it Vera beats Sean O'Malley. And people hate me, and let's go down that path, man. It'll be fun. It'll be great content. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. Maybe a stream around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Maybe we have a guest, what's it called? Surprise guest and Trey, if I could get him on, if people are into that. Let's do it. 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Before we get out of here, I know I'm asking a lot of questions. Before we get out of here, what time is better? A little later, 7 p.m.? I'm down for another stream tonight. 7 p.m. Eastern, is that too late? 7 p.m. Eastern? Snipey, much love, man. I know we've been live for like an hour and a half. You guys been rocking out with me. I'm thinking 7 p.m., guys. I'm thinking 7 p.m. I'm gonna get out of here. Number 1 commentary channel on YouTube. Let me know in Discord. Consider becoming a member today. Putting all the socials in chat. Consider becoming a member today. Helps me grow the chat and the stream. Fun, super. Thank you for all the live callers. That was a lot of fun. Either works. Cool. I'm thinking 7 p.m. more, Eddie. I'll let you guys know in Discord. 8 p.m. says Beta Quest Eastern. People are getting out of work as later. It's probably more convenient. Beta is the DC Fight Club member. He has helped me get to where I'm at today. And then Eddie says either works. So no member stream if Trey comes back. Make it for everyone. Gotcha. All right, we might lean more towards 8 p.m. just because, Beta is the homie and he has been rocking out with us. Much love. God bless. Please tell me that Camboso's fight was a joke. Listen, that's what the people want, Beta. That's what the people want. 7 p.m. is perfect for me. I'll be tuned in. Maybe we'll meet halfway, 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. Is 8 p.m. okay for you? Gotcha. Let me know. Damn, just got on my lunch break. Sorry, A-Rod. A-Rod, we just had an hour and a half live stream, a very fun one. We'll be live again tonight, A-Rod, if that works for you. We have like 7 voicemails. Which was crazy. We had like maybe guys, let me spam this real quick. If you guys could do me a favor, would really encourage me to do a stream tonight, which is a plan. I put the number. Maybe get out of your comfort zone. Most people are huge MMA fans, but they don't leave voicemails, and that's okay. 8 is just fine, brother. Cool. Bet. Cool. Let's do 8 p.m. tonight. 267-545-8096. The topic of discussion tonight will be, does Vera beat Sean O'Malley? Yeah, but the UFC would now have enough to promote Vera and enough to promote O'Malley either way. Yes, on the trilogy. They can make money regardless of the results. Let's talk about it tonight. Vera, Sean O'Malley, who wins at 8 p.m. Eastern is the plan. Shout out to Beta for making basically that happen and everybody else in chat. Leave a voicemail, 267-545-8096. Does Vera beat O'Malley? Does O'Malley beat Vera in December? Who wins? If you leave a voicemail, we'll be played live on stream at 8 p.m. We'll be back for another live stream. Thank you so much. #1 commentary channel on YouTube. Super fun. One of the best podcasts today. Sorry, A-Rod, that you just got on lunch break. Maybe I should start these at 12 p.m. instead of 11. We'll talk about that some more later. 267-545-8096. Who wins, Vera or O'Malley? Leave a voicemail at that number. We'll be playing it live around 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace.